Oh, there you are, YouTube. Doodloo 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 doo. Subscribe.
Yeah.
December 13th. What are we watching?
Oh, The Family Man.
Oh, that's so good. Nicolas
One of the
Cage.
best.
Leoni.
I like The Family Man quite a bit. Brett Ratner movie. Don't see him much anymore these days. Stars Nick Cage and Téa Leoni. And it's kind of like, it's kind of like It's a Wonderful Life in a way. He's getting a glimpse, to use the term that they say in the film, of a life that could have been had he taken an alternate path with a few things. Basically, it's, Nicolas Cage is this very successful New York person, very, very rich, richest person in his apartment complex, or I don't know what you call it when it's a major city. Is it still called the complex? And he's like the president of a major, probably billion-dollar company, etc. I don't know. I'm losing my words right now. And he seems very happy, very pleased. He's doing well, but Don Cheadle sprinkles some magic on him and says, hey, how about you take a look at the life that you could have had? Although, maybe I should point that way. I'm always pointing for myself rather than the viewers. And so yeah, he gets taken to what his life would have been like had he married his college sweetheart, Téa Leoni, and what it turns out is he gives up a lot of his dreams. I think she gives up her dreams as well. Maybe her dreams were always to be a nonprofit lawyer. I'm not sure. But his dreams, he gives up on them, works for Téa's dad, selling tires, and he's like, how could this be a life that I lived? This is not, what I wanted to do. None of this was my plan, which is kind of interesting because I think they do a pretty good job of showing the history of, so let's call, like, Nicolas Cage's, like, his alternate reality version, like what that would have been before the rich one took over the body. I think they do a good job of showing that he, too, was somewhat dissatisfied with his life. I think he, grew to accept it and all of that. Like, I'm talking about the Nick Cage. This is the rich one, and he overtook I'm going to call him the poor one. He's not poor or anything, but the poor one's body, right? I think the poor one's body, he had there were certain things you could pick up on to where he wasn't fully satisfied with his life either, but, just like any person is, there's certain, have regrets and things like that. And I think they did a good job sprinkling that in, because I think other movies would be like, look at how perfect your life, could have been had you gone this alternate route with Téa Leoni, and they would have, just made it absolutely perfect. But there are a lot of clues that say he was a little unhappy, maybe a little depressed as well. But what he comes to find out is that he just loves, even with that, and it being, a small home and very, I don't know, suburban life versus his wealthy life, he comes to find that he can live a life like that, and would enjoy a life like that, and would love a life like that. So then he becomes, Don Cheadle unsprinkles his magic dust, and then he gets to be the rich man again, right? And then he's like, oh, I gotta find Téa Leoni. I gotta find her so that I can, talk to her, and maybe we can have a life together, even though, it's going to be, 20 years later, or 10 years later, or something like that, 15 years later. I don't know the timeline. And he finds her. She's getting ready to move to Paris, but then he's like, hey, go see the airport, that old trope. And he's like, hey, how about you stick around and let's have coffee? And then they have coffee, and then, it looks like, things may move forward with them as a couple. Obviously, they have to get to know one another, date for a while, and then get married, and then maybe have those same kids that they had in the other version of the life, but just much later down the road. I think that's one weird thing about the movie. I sort of have to look at this film as like a multiverse film, because when he's his poor self, he has 2 children. And when he goes back to being rich, I just don't like the idea of those kids just ceasing to exist. That's very sad to me. I don't like that. So the way I look at it is the poor version was just displaced from his body and then and then this one was put in that body. So I like to think that the poor Nick Cage got to go back to his body, go back to his family, his kids and everything. Because yeah, I don't know, we kind of get to know those kids and they're sweet, and I don't know, I just don't want them to disappear. I think that's sad. And then maybe they will be born in the rich version, much later down the road. I know that's not how biology works. They would be completely different kids, but yeah, I don't know. I just kind of have to think of it as a multiverse. Yeah, I don't know. The idea of those kids just ceasing to exist is kind of sad. But yeah, I like this movie. I like it. Danny Elfman does the score, so it's a little haunting in scenes, and I suggest it. It's not super Christmassy all the way through, I would say, but I feel like in terms of actual Christmas, but I feel like that vibe, that magic, the magic of Christmas is sort of always there, and winter is always there, and all of that. So that lends to the Christmassy winter feel. But yeah, if you're looking for a movie that doesn't necessarily scream Christmas but is Christmas, I think The Family Man is a good one. So yeah, how about we check out now? Let's change the subject, and then you can see what my kids got in their advent calendars today. So take a look at that now.
What we got in there?
Here, hold on, you're bending it, babe. Okay.
What do we got in there?
Mama got mine.
No.
Mickey.
Mickey.
Classic Mickey.
You gonna eat it?
Yeah. I just was.
What's in yours?
Okay, that door's in the way.
What is it?
What is it?
Oh my goodness,
What is it? What is it?
What is it?
Is it stuck? Here, let me move this door. This from the other. There you go. Now get it.
What is it?
It's Raja.
Oh, Raja.
That's Jasmine's tiger.
Yeah, and you have Jasmine, so they go together.
Oh, he's so cute.
I love it.
Nana got one.
And here's a close-up of Raja.
Cool.
Looking super cute, super adorable.
And now that you've seen that, perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.